morning. Hi, St. James. I'm Miss Julie, and I'm here to tell the children's Bible story, and I'm joined by
Haley
and
Tyler.
And today we have some stuffed animal friends. Maybe you have some stuffed animal friends. Today we have joining us
Monkey
and
Chip
and
Lammy.
Lammy is Tyler's favorite stuffed animal. Maybe you have a favorite stuffed animal that's just your best friend.
Or two.
Or
I've had
four,
or 5 or 10 or 12.
I have a couple. So for the month of September, we're talking about friendship. And last week we talked about what it takes to be a good friend and how to choose good friends and the people you want around you to be your friend, people that lift you up and people that love God. And remember, friends come in all shapes and sizes and colors and heights and widths, and you meet them all over the place. There's all kinds of people that you could be friends with in just your daily walk with God, and you may meet friends at the grocery store or school or the park.
So friends can be in all shapes and sizes?
Yes, you can have.
Like this?
Oh, different shape.
Well, I have a friend. He's big and has millions of fingers. His name is Mr. Tree.
She's talking about
don't
tree.
talk about that tree again.
Okay, so
He's attracted to a tree.
Okay, we gotta focus, people. One of the things we wanted to do today in talking about friendship is bring attention to our shirts. We all have autism awareness shirts. Tyler says color outside the lines. Haley says it's okay to be different. It's got different color crayons. Mine says, what does mine say? Accept, understand, love, because sometimes our friends have different abilities and they have different things that they are maybe really good at and then maybe not so good at, but they're still special and smart and wonderful. And so remember, when you are making friends, to try to look for the people who maybe don't have that many friends, and maybe someone's not sitting with them at lunch, or someone maybe they don't have someone to play with at the park because they might look a little different or sound a little different. But make sure that you are being loving and supportive, and all kinds of friends. You can have all kinds of friends, right? Right. There we go. Okay, that's our little plug for autism awareness. We love our friends with different abilities. So today we're going to talk about two best friends in the Bible, and that is David and Jonathan. Does the name David sound familiar? David and, what do we know about David? David and Goliath. Yes, David and Goliath. That David. But before he was king, he was anointed to be king, but before he was king, there was another king, King Saul. And so we're going to talk today about King Saul and how he started out as a good king and then wasn't really good, and his son Jonathan. And Jonathan and David became best friends. So today I'm going to ask some questions since, you know, we're back in school and sometimes we do quizzes. Is Lammy ready for the quiz? So Haley and Tyler are going to guess the answers to the questions. Okay, here we go. Question number one. The Israelites were ruled, or the Israelites had judges and prophets that God sent them to help them rule their world, right? So how did the Israelites feel about the judges and the prophets? Okay, so did they, A, they loved them, B, they wish they had a king instead, or C, they thought the judges and prophets were really good breakdancers? A, love them, B, wish they had a king, C, good breakdancers. What do you think? Haley and Tyler both say B. B is the correct answer. They still wish they had a king. They were like, I mean, these guys are smart, but God, can you really, 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 please send us a king? And the king was like, oh. God was like, okay. So they got Saul. There, get what you ask for, careful what you wish for, I guess, and all that, right? Okay, so King Saul had a son named Jonathan. Now, normally, the king's son would be next in line for the throne, right? So like if something happened to King Saul, usually Jonathan would be the next king. But remember, God had chosen David. God had chosen David to be the next king of Israel, not Jonathan. So David was the leader of King Saul's armies, and he was really, really good in battle. And David started winning all of these battles, and King Saul got really jealous. He was like, I'm jealous because everybody likes David. Well, Okay, so King Saul was jealous of David, but number two, ready for number two, Lammy? Ready, monkey? Number two, how did Jonathan, remember that's King Saul's son, how did Jonathan feel about David's popularity? Was he A, he was jealous of David because he wanted to be king? B, he was hungry and wanted David to make him a snack. Snack, snack. Or C, he was happy for David and wanted to be his friend. A, jealous. B, I'm so hungry. C, I'm happy for you. C, C as in yes, and C as in yes. He wanted to be friends with him. Jonathan wasn't jealous, and I'm not really sure why or how that is. Like, that's amazing to me, because you would think if you worked for a really long time and you were gonna like have a job and then someone else is like, oh, actually I'm gonna take that job, like, right? You'd be really jealous or upset. Not Jonathan. Okay, so here we go. Jonathan gave David a gift. Are you ready? Did Jonathan give David A, his robe, belt, sword, and bow? B, his brand new video game system? Or C, a new puppy? A corgi puppy.
I say A.
Was it A, his robe, belt, sword, bow? B, brand new video game? Or C,
They didn't have video games back then. And
You're right.
dogs were
Exactly.
And dogs were too busy hunting.
Corgi?
there we go. So
about
the
the
answer
corgis?
is A. So Jonathan honored his friend David by giving him a robe, a belt, a sword, and a bow. Okay, so King Saul saw that David, King Saul saw that David was getting more popular, and he got so mad, he threw something at David. What do you think he threw at David? Are you ready? What did angry King Saul throw at David because he was mad jealous? A, rotten eggs. B, a spear, like a long stick with a sharp thing on the end. Or C, a beach ball.
We can knock C out of the park right now.
Tyler thinks B. Haley thinks B. You are correct.
Really?
A spear.
Wait,
Dude
no.
threw a spear at him. Now you want to go rotten eggs? No. He got so angry he threw a spear at him. That's crazy. And he didn't stop there. King Saul tried to kill David, and Jonathan had to like calm his dad down and be like, nah, Dad, it's fine. And so he like told him, he was like, you have to promise not to hurt my friend anymore. And King Saul was like, fine, I won't hurt him anymore.
Wait, did he actually
Totally had his fingers crossed behind his neck, behind his back.
Because
Behind
these
his neck.
guys be liars.
He did. He lied, and he still tried to kill him. He still tried, and he had other people try to kill David. Okay, so
Like, I didn't try to
Closer,
kill
let me
him. It
kill
was
you.
those people.
Yeah,
But you
yeah.
sit there.
but Jonathan, his best friend, was like, I'm gonna protect you. I'm gonna protect you so you can be king, because I know that my father doesn't love God anymore, and I know that you love God. So Jonathan was like, we're gonna have a plan, and I'm gonna keep you safe. Okay, so he said, here's my plan. David was supposed to go to a feast. It was basically like a fancy dinner with King Saul. But instead, he told Jonathan he was going to go hide. Okay? So, next question. Where do you think David planned to hide? A, a field. B, a cave. C, Taco Bell. A, field. B, cave. C, Taco Bell. Tyler thinks a field, and Haley thinks a cave. Tyler got it this time, a field. He went to hide in a field. So Jonathan made up this whole story about why he wasn't at the meal, and told King Saul, his dad. He was like, hey, if it's okay, I don't think he's gonna be here, but he might be here later, right? So he like tried to cover for his friend. So now we're gonna read 1 Samuel chapter 20. Verses 14. Here is what Jonathan said to David. But always be kind to me, just as the Lord is. Be kind to me as long as I live. Then I won't be killed, and never stop being kind to my family. He asked him to be kind to him, even when he got to be king. Like, Jonathan knew that he was going to be king, so he asked for kindness. So they came up with this plan, like a secret message. And so he was going to go check and see how angry his dad was. And if his dad, King Saul, was really angry and they worried for David's safety, he would send him like a secret message. Or if his dad seemed to be calm and cool, then he could come to the feast. Okay, so here we go. What did Jonathan plan to do as a way to send a secret message to David? Are you ready? Got your letters? What did Jonathan plan to do as a way to send a secret message? A, toss bean bags. B, throw a pie in David's face. Or C, shoot arrows into the field. You're both right.
Gangnam Style.
You're both right.
Yeah.
So he planned to shoot arrows either like close. He was going to shoot an arrow really close to where David was hiding if his dad wasn't mad and it was okay for him to come. Or he was going to shoot an arrow super, super far away. And that meant David should run far away. So he went to the party and or went to the feast to see what what kind of mood his dad was in. His dad was in a really bad mood. And so where did Jonathan shoot the arrow? Close or far away?
Far.
Really far away. And he wanted David to run really far away. But they got to talk right before he did. Okay, so you ready for the question? What did Jonathan say to David when they met up for the last time? What did Jonathan say to David when they met up for the last time? A, later bro. B, hey Macarena. Or C, we'll always be best friends. Ah, you're both right. We'll always be best friends. Although I would have liked to see it didn't, but how amazing if we could have seen the Macarena. Macarena. Okay, so 1 Samuel 20 and our verse this time 42. Jonathan said to David, "Go in peace. In the name of the Lord, we've promised to be friends. We have said, the Lord is a witness between you and me. He's a witness between your children and my children forever." Then David left, and Jonathan went back to the town. How about that?
Where did David go?
He ran away.
Where?
Far, far away.
Where?
Past the field.
Where?
North. He went. Well, that's a story for another day. How about that? That's a good cover, right, parents? Okay. All right. So it's pretty amazing to think about David and Jonathan being friends, even when the people around them were trying to break them apart. Even when one of them was supposed to be king, but the other one, God said, actually, you're going to be king. And so Jonathan had every right to be really mad and refuse to be friends with David, but he chose to be friends with David because he knew that David would keep his promise to be kind, and he knew that David loved God. And so he showed him the kind of friendship that we're supposed to show people, which really is just love, right? Friendship is another way of loving people. It's another way of showing them that we care about them and we support them. So let's go ahead and say our prayer. Ready? Okay, hands together. Eyes closed. Dear God, thank you so much for sending us the story of David and Jonathan so we could see an example of what a really strong friendship looks like. God, help us to be kind to each other. Help us to lift each other up. Help us to support each other and find people who might not normally have a friend and try to be their friend. God, thank you for watching out for us and keeping us safe. And thank you for all of our friends. And all God's children said, Amen. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
We hope that you have a good week, and we hope that you will treat other people the way that you want to be treated, and you will be a good friend, and people will be good friends to you. So show the love of Jesus through your friendships, okay? And autism awareness. All friends come in all kinds of shapes and sizes and abilities. And colors. There we go.
Earthquake.
Love people. Bye.
Bye. Earthquake.